Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining, and Happy New Year. I appreciate everyone who subscribed and everyone's been checking in. It really means a lot. We're at like 250 plus subscribers now, so that's super cool. I wish you all a prosperous and healthy New Year. I hope that everybody's doing great. I am back to work, so I'm happy to be out of the house, COVID free, and things have been going pretty well. So I've had some comments about unMineable, and I wanted to go over it. So this one's going to be, first we're going to do Hive. We're going to show you the setup on how to get this going in Hive. And then after that, I'm going to go and address some of these questions we had in the comments. And hopefully that gets people a little closer to where they want to be. So first off, let me just say none of this is financial advice. You know, you mine at your own risk. You do what you want to do. Your pocket is different than mine, or pocketbook. And you got to make decisions on what you need at the end of the month to cover whatever you need to cover. A lot of times things are looked a little bit more as a business because, you know, you do have real life bills that come from mining and expenses. But overall, you know, you make the choices you want. I think this is kind of a fun site to use. Overall, what you're really doing is that you're mining with one algorithm. Let's say you're mining, with Ethereum. And instead of getting paid out in Ethereum, you're getting paid out in one of these coins that you wouldn't normally be able to mine. Let's just say something like a SHIB, or Solana. You can't mine that, so you can do it in different algorithms through them. Pick the one that suits whatever card you're using, and we'll talk about that. And then you get paid out with these, which is, kind of fun. Now, some of them you can mine directly, but let's say you wanted to, get Ethereum, but you've got some 4 gig cards, so the best you could do is Ethereum Classic. But here what you can do is that you can mine with your Ethereum Classic algorithm, the ETC, and get paid out in Ethereum. So it kind of works. If you had an 8 gig card, I don't know if you necessarily use their portal to mine Ethereum. You just kind of do it yourself, but there are some in here that are kind of fun, and we're just going to go over a couple of them really quick. Again, not financial advice, but I like crypto.com. I got into crypto.com early when it first came out, and I did very well with it. Solana, I did not get in. My sister did, and she did fairly well with that. Of course, everything is down right now. It's kind of tough out there right now, but some of these are still, a hell of a lot higher they were than when they started. So some of these, are more like jokes, SHIB or the Elon, some of these are well known. SafeMoon is a new one. I will say that some of these are just kind of fun to mine and maybe bank a couple, stick them in a wallet. You never know where it goes. You ever buy scratch off? You ever buy a lottery ticket? It's kind of like buying a scratch off that you forgot to turn in. You find it in your glove box and you're like, oh wow, I got $20. Well, imagine you mined one of these and you realized you had it and you're like, oh look, 20 million bucks. Just kidding. You know what I mean. Anyway, one that came in here that I like is Decentraland, and that's the one we're going to use for the example today because I did want to mine that a little bit. So this is a really good site if you're using like a 4 gig card. And the reason is that, so we'll just click on Decentraland. The idea is that you need 6 gigs or better to mine on the ET hash, ETC hash. You'll need at least 3, and Kapow 3. If you have a CPU, you can use the random X. And we're going to get into that with one of those questions that I had on the comments. And we'll talk about that later on. But for the idea behind this, if you had a card that was strong enough, an 8 gig card, you'd probably just mine on your own and you wouldn't bother with this. But if you had a 4 gig card, I think it's worth looking into because I think that you can have a little fun with these cards. And I'll tell you, mining now for almost a year, you got to find some of that fun time. And I've gotten more and more on the side since I've invested in these new rigs that I have. It's cost a couple bucks. I've kind of looked at it a little bit more like a business because I spent a lot and I need to recoup a little bit of that, right? If anything, to recoup it so I could buy more. So I can't just take this money and, just toss it out the window. And, I wish I could. But right now I gotta recoup, and I gotta, you know, re-up on cards. I gotta buy more. So but 4 gig cards, I've been looking at those, and I've been thinking about buying a couple. If I can get a couple at a reasonable price, I'm going to do it. I did get one card off AliExpress, and I did want to do a review. I haven't done it yet, but I will do one on that. It might be an option for this, so but we'll talk more. Right now, let's get into it. Here it is, Hive with this one. So let's we're going to do Decentraland. So here it is here, and these are the main things you're going to need. Okay, so you're going to need this section here, and you're going to need this section here. So first things first, you're going to come to your Hive, go to the main page, and click Add Wallet. This window will pop up, and then after that window pops up, you'll fill it out, and this is mine already filled out. So you just choose your drop down here, and you choose whatever ETH, and then you come here, and what you have to put in here is the coin that you're going to be mining. So let's go back over here, and you'll see it right here. So if you were doing this in Windows, you'd be using this whole line right here, but in Hive, all you need is mana, because that's what we're doing. If you were doing another coin, this I always do that. I always point to the screen like you can see me. The mana would right here would change to whatever coin it is you're doing, and then you would have your address. So when we come back over here, you'll put mana, colon, and then your address, and then you'll name it. I have mana in my Exodus wallet. It allows me to use it, so I go on that one. There are some other coins I looked at, like SafeMoon, and that one I had to use a trust wallet to look up for that one. Different wallets have different ones. Some have a lot, some don't. But anyway, so you get it there, and you just click save on that, and then you have your wallet set up. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here, and you're going to create a flight sheet. So you just come over here and click flight sheet, and you just say create flight sheet. So what you're going to do is you're going to start working in here, and I've already got mine done. And let's see here. So we just go to the ticker, okay, because we're going to be using the Ethereum. Let's go back over here to show you we are going to be using this. Now, if I did have a 4 gig card, I would be using this or Kapow. And if I'm CPU, then I would use this to change it right here. So we would have it changed here if we were using a 4 gig card. For this one, we're going to be using an 8 gig card just for the example. So we are going to use the ET hash. So let's come here. So what we do is we're going to choose here. We're going to choose select our wallet, and we're going to choose the mana for Exodus. The pool, we're going to hit that drop down. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we're going to configure it in the miner. We'll hit that. And then this one here, we're going to scroll down. Now I'm using the ones in my rig back here, and I use T-Rex. So we'll click T-Rex. Then we'll click Setup Miner, and this is where we're going to put our information in. So this is this screen. This screen, I've already got it filled out, and here it is. So we've got this ETH hash, mana, colon, and the address, the worker name. Now the pool, again, ETH hash, .unmineable.com 3333, and password is X. That's all you have to do in here. So again, we're over here. So so for this section, we have the pool that we're going to be using, and where'd it go? There it is. So there's the pool right there. And then for our wallet, which is right here, we're going to choose this section right here and stop there. Now again, if you're in Windows, you would have the dot, your worker name, and you call it whatever you want to call it. In Hive, it is right here, your worker name. So you just put it in right here. And again, wallet, colon, mana, colon, or whatever coin it is, colon, and you put it in, ETH hash, and that would change if you were going to be using this one here. You would then take this and copy it, Control C, and then you would come in here and you would put it right here for the pool instead. So that would be for that one, but we're not using that one. So anyway, that's it. You just set it up just like that. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of all of these, and all you do is come back here, and we'll hit the Raven coin one real quick. all we do is we go back here to our flight sheet, and we look here for the mana. That's the one that we saved. Now that's when you do this one right here, like again, you want to make sure you name the wallet appropriately so you know which one you're using with it. So for what we're doing here, this is it right here, and of course we're using T-Rex. So this would say ETCH if we were going to be doing, let's say if we were going to be using the other one, we'd be using ETCH for that instead, and that would be the same idea here. We'd be using, so depending on what you're doing, if it's going to be the Raven coin, you would come over there and you would choose your Raven coin, and then you would do the same thing. You would do mana colon, and then whatever your wallet address would be there, and then you would put it in here what you want to name it. So you just choose whichever one. You'll be only choosing from 3, well 4 if you're going to do CPU, do the random X, but for the most people, I guess, will be doing Ethereum Raven or Ethereum Classic. So anyway, so again, we come here, we choose it, we go to a flight sheet, we're going to come down to mana, and we're going to click the launch, and we're going to send that to the moon. So I still have the other one running right here, and that one's the Ethereum. That's being paid out in Bitcoin because they pay out now in Bitcoin for free, which is pretty cool. And I probably should do a video on that in case anybody hasn't caught on to that yet. No fees. We'll wait for this thing to restart, and I'll tell you about that since we are here. I'll probably do a video on it and show you the whole lineup, but basically it's the same idea like we just did when we set up a wallet. You choose Ethereum, but instead here you would put your Bitcoin address, okay? And that's why you see here I've got one called Exodus. That's what I'm using, and it's Ethereum-BTC because I want to use my Bitcoin payout. So even though I'm mining Ethereum, it's paying me out in Bitcoin, and they don't do fees on that. And you can set the threshold to pretty much whatever you want. So let's bring that up like that. The other day I was testing this and fooling around with it, and I did have to restart the miner. I don't have the screen on behind me to see it. I usually have that on so I can see it when I'm doing this. I just ordered a new desk with some more monitors and stuff, and I got this new shelf. I'm going to do a whole video on that too because I got this all set up now. I'm going to do it a little cleaner so I can have see a couple more things. So what we can do to check on this is we need to get our got mine set up here, so you can see that I did get a little bit going in here. This is really not much considering. Now when you do choose whatever currency you're going to mine, know that it will tell you how much. This is 18 mana. If we were to choose let's say crypto.com, and was it in here, or when you put your wallet address in, I think maybe it tells you it then, I forget, but it tells you in here somewhere how many you need to mine before you get a payout. So payouts, here you go, 75 CRO. So it just depends on what you want to do. We're doing Decentraland, and they've got 18. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these two, or any one of these 4, I guess, depending on what you're using. So it looks like that froze up a little bit. Loading. Looks like it says it's there, like it's starting, but it's just it's not loading. So let's go back to the beginning and just I don't know, sort of refresh that. Go to address. Anyway, I'm going to pause it for a minute. It looks like the site might be giving a little trouble loading it up. So give me a second. I'll be back and we'll check on this to make sure it all worked. And we'll go from there. Be right back. And there it is. So it's finally back up and it is reporting in. So I've let it run for a little bit. I don't know how long it's been. A little bit. 48, 26. So, half an hour, 40 minutes. Anyway, it is running and that's it. So you saw how to do that on Hive. So I hope that helped. If you want, subscribe below, give me the thumbs up, and leave some comments below if you have any more questions about doing it on Hive. It's pretty straightforward, and that'll wrap that up. So if you're sticking around, we're going to be talking about some of the comments we had before on the web, on our page. And I got one guy that was asking me, Paulie Hardcore, and Paulie was asking about a couple things. So let's just go look over these really quick. So he is, where's Paulie Hardcore? Where'd you go? And there we go. All right, so he's asking a couple different things. One was for Cosmos using Coinbase wallet. I mean, the basic, so I went ahead and I downloaded a miner here. So I have Team Red Miner, and for that one, what we'll do for this, now it depends if you're using a 4 gig or an 8 gig. So I'll show you both ways really quick on that. It's really the same as we did before. There's really no difference on that. So if I bring up the page and we go to unMineable, and let's see, where's it at? You see it? Tell me if I missed it. Oh, where's it at? I probably went right by it. I'm just scrolling. All right, where is it at? There it is, right there. Okay, so again, it depends if you're using a 4 gig card. You'd be using one of these two here. And now this is if you want to use one of these downloaded miners. You would do it like this. So it recommends using one of these. That's what it's offering. Now I use Team Red Miner because I have the AMD cards here, and it works best for me. So you can choose anything you want. One that's, make sure it does AMD and not just the NVIDIA cards, or vice versa. These two cards I have here are for that. So I downloaded it for that one. But what we're going to do is we're just going to do exactly what it's got. And so we'll use this one here because we would say we're going to be doing 4 gig cards most likely. Like I said, if you had 8 gig cards, you probably wouldn't bother to use this site. I mean, I guess if you had that many cards and you're doing that well for yourself, then congratulations, and you can put cards that are 8 gig cards on, random things for fun. For me, I can't so much, but I am still messing around with it. So anyway, so right there, so we would just take this here and we click it once. I've clicked it several times, so it says it's copied. And then what we'll do is we'll come over here, and I'll just go to the ETH right here. And what I'll do is just right click on it and copy, and then right click and paste. And that way I get an extra one right here. And then that way, if I ever want to use this for something else, I can, and I don't mess up the original for this. So that's whatever. You right click on it and edit, and then the page comes up. Sometimes the Windows box comes up and you have to approve it and say yes to that. But once this comes up, we scroll right to the bottom, and this is it right here. So this is the line we're going to be working on like before. So all we do is we just highlight this line right to there and Control V. Oops, did I do that? Did I do it right, or did I not do it right? So I click that, and then I take that, Yep, there we go. So really all you're doing is you're just copying what you're going to be using, etc hash, and then don't forget to come over here and put the C for that one as well. So you've got that there. And then you can come over here, and this is the second section here. Now, I have done it with this way on the 4 gig cards, and for the 8 gig cards. I've done it for the both. Now, I haven't tried it on this one right here that's made for the 4 gig cards. I haven't tried that. As a matter of fact, I probably will try that, and I'll probably put it in the comments below whether that worked on this other little 4 gig card that I bought, and see if that makes a difference, because that's the but I don't know, I'm not sure. So I'll try that and probably leave it in the description below if that worked or not. But basically I just use this one, and I just make sure I change it here. I paste that in there, and then we come back to the site and we scroll down, and this gets covered up. We got to break it a little bigger. All right, so here it is here. So if we just click several times in there, it will highlight the whole thing. You can right click and copy it, and then again we come over here and we highlight from the wallet all the way to the worker name like that. Oops, I missed that. And Control V, and there you are. So there you have it right there. And so it's got to have that atom in the front, and then you put your atom address, whatever that is. If you've got that from Coinbase, you just grab it from Coinbase and grab the address that they offer. I'm not sure which wallets carry that particular one. Exodus I like, Crypto.com, the DeFi, and of course, I've been using a little bit on Trust Wallet because it does have a couple other coins that I normally wouldn't be able to get on other wallets. It's got some kind of random ones, so you may find it there. But either way, you'll put your address here, and then your worker name right here. You just back this all out and just type in whatever you want. Whatever you want it to be, and that's it. You just click the X, you click save, and then you can go down to this one and fire it up, and then it will start mining for you, and it'll mine right there. And then all you do is take your wallet address, put it right here, and it looks like this. Actually, you will need to click on this one to show the ETC, and if you're doing CPU or Kapow, we're using the ETH hash there. So there's mine running right there, and it's chugging along. So mana, like I said, you need 18 right here to get paid, over 18 mana. So that's pretty much it. I will say, don't forget, if you are doing this, that when you want to get paid out, you're going to want to leave this off for now, because let's say you have this on and you just want to get 18 mana and shut down at that point. You're cool with having 18. You just wanted a couple of them just for fun. It'll pay out once it hits 18. The thing is that if you have auto pay, it pays it. And then let's say, it happened while you were sleeping at night, it reached its 18. And then you woke up in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, there it is, it did it. And you're looking like, oh, look at my wallet, I have my 18, awesome. Well, it had been mining the rest of the night, all of that extra mana, which will now be in your wallet, like the amount that I have right now. Let's say, suppose I had 18.5, it paid me my 18, and then for the rest of the night, I got another 0.5. That would now sit in here until I got back up to 18. So the trick is to let it mine, and then let's say you're getting ready for bed and you're like, oh man, it's gonna hit its mark while I'm sleeping. Let it hit its mark while you're sleeping. When you wake up in the morning, shut that rig down, or shut it down, put it on whatever other coin you want to start mining on, or whatever, back to what you had. And then once it's completely off of mining this, then click auto payout, and then it'll pay out whatever you have in your mana wallet on unMineable. And it'll pay that out to your mana address. So make sure you do that. Otherwise, if you went to bed and you hit your numbers, and let's say you're sleeping for 7 hours, 8 hours, and it hit that number 4 hours into it, that means it was mining for 4 more hours that you won't get paid out on, because, well, you will if you then let it mine again up. So again, leave that off until you're done, unless you're going to make it a permanent thing. You just want to mine mana until, you know, the cows come home. Then I guess you can leave it on, whatever suits you. But that's basically that. So as far as that goes for using Coinbase and Cosmos, you know, that's really it for that. Now, you did mention in here about a laptop, an i7 with a 1050 4 gigabyte. So with that one, if you want to do that, you won't be able to mine both of them on, I don't think you'll be able to mine both of them, because you would need to download 2 separate miners, like the in here. You would need to start 2 different ones, and I don't know if your system will allow you to do that, to run the CPU miner and to run you know, for the 1050 GTX. So an easy way to do it is to do it on Hive. With Hive, you can use different flight sheets to do different things. Let's say you had 6 card rig and they were all 4 gigabyte. You wanted 2 cards on each, you know, coin. You wanted 2 on Mana, 2 on crypto, 2 on Solana. You would make a flight sheet, and then you would just put a comma next to what cards you wanted. So if card 1 and 2, you'd put 1 comma space 2, and then cards 1 and 2 would be mining that 1, and then cards 2 and or 3 and 4 would be the other one. Actually, it'd be 0 and 1, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And you can break that up on a rig, so you don't have to have all of them running on one. Same idea with the CPU. You can set it up where it can do 1, and then you can have the other flight sheet set up for the card, and see if that works. I don't have a laptop that's good enough to try that. Over the holidays, Black Friday, I bought a laptop here, and it's really, I bought it just because I was tired of running up and down the stairs when I'm working on those miners down in Crazy Town. If I want to check, you know, hash rates and stuff, I was bringing it up on my phone, and it was just like such a hassle. And I thought, you know what, I'd love to have an extra laptop, you know, because mine crapped out on me, and I just wanted one just to run up and down. So anyway, I have this one. It's not good enough to do that on. So unfortunately, I can't test this. I do need to get a decent laptop though, and then I could do tests like that. But for now, unfortunately, I don't. I'm sorry, Poly Hardcore. I do appreciate the questions. So there's that one. Let's see, you want to, I start with Solana with the software, try switching to Tether, but it's not letting me. Any suggestions? Paulie, again, I download the software. Now, I know you can download from unMineable a pack that has different miners, and they're already pre-configured. The problem is that you're downloading a miner that may be out of date, and you know that the miners get updated, some daily, some, you know, every couple days, some weekly, but a lot of them are definitely weekly updates on them. So when you download that pack from unMineable, that's a great resource. The problem is that they were made on one day, and if they've been updating those software packages for different mining, LOL miner, T-Rex, you know, Team Red miner, so on and so forth, you're going to have one that's out of date. So I would download directly the miner you want to use, and not use the ones that they offer, only because, like I said, it's just they may be out of date. So that's all. It's just a preference. Why not download the latest one and use that? Or maybe perhaps even an earlier version if there's a certain card that you have that works better with it. So just a thought. And that's all I can, that's what I'm getting when you say I started with Solana with the software. I'm assuming you're saying you downloaded their software. So I would just go ahead and download T-Rex if you're using NVIDIA. And if you're using the AMD, I love Team Red Miner for them. You know, that's my preference. You pick whichever one works best for you, which one you're comfortable with. But overall, they're all the same. You know, the main idea, you know, when you edit any of them, all you got to do is just find that one line is really what you're looking for, and just make the appropriate changes. So whether you're doing, again, if you're going to be doing it on well, oh, there it is. What I was about to say. I don't know where it is. All right, here it is. You can choose the ehash, or you could do the etc. So this is the only section really here that you'll choose from the miner itself. You can find ones that already have it in there, like this. So if you went to edit that one, and this is the warning that you may get, you just click more info and then click run anyway. And then this one is for Kapow, and here it is right here, this bottom line. So as you can see, it's already got the algorithm already put in, and then you just need to change this section here, and then your wallet, so whatever it might be, if you want to use theirs instead. So anyway, Paulie, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you checking in. I appreciate the sub also. Thank you very much. So if anybody stuck around to see the rest of this video, I hope it helped you a little bit. If it answered any questions I didn't answer before, I know there's a lot to it. It seems like there's a lot in there, but in the end, it is all basically the same when you're looking at the different pools to mine. You're either going to be using Kapow, etc, or ehash. And like I said, RandomX if you want to just try CPU. So you know the drill. I appreciate it. Again, y'all have a happy new year. I hope y'all bank this year. I hope we have a lot of fun. I know I'm going to be doing a video on some of these other coins, and we're going to talk about some speculative mining. I'm going to do that video next, and we'll see what we come up with. I hope you guys, poke around at this a little bit. It is a fun site, and I suggest that if you have a couple 4 gig cards, this is not a bad spot to, throw a couple cards on and just fool around with this. It's, you got to have a little fun when you do some of this stuff. It's always business. I get it. You got to make some money to recoup for all your expenses, but have a little fun too, at least on the side once in a while. All right, y'all. Appreciate you checking in. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.